There are two opportunities that I'm super focused on going into 2023. And I know that, there's definitely more than two investments that I'm actually actively participating in, but these are two industries that really stand out to me. And so I'm going to give you a brief overview of both of them. And if you guys want some more information, of course, you're welcome to reach out to me on Instagram, and I'm happy to provide you some more information on these. Guys, my two top picks for 2023 are going to be multifamily real estate as well as private jets. Just to give you a brief overview of private jets, essentially we're acquiring an asset, usually bringing together investors, acquiring the asset, fractional ownership on that jet. We place it with a charter company. This is not just any charter company. Trust me, there are so many shady charter companies out there. We're specifically handpicking charter companies that can provide a high level of service both to us as the investors and also as the patrons, like the clients that are going to be flying on that jet, because it's all about experience. If a client has a bad experience on your jet, it's not looking good. So you want to make sure that you have a solid team, a charter company that you're working with that's been established, that's been around for maybe several decades. So they know exactly what they're doing and they know exactly what these clients expect. Because at the end of the day, if I'm flying private, I'm expecting that trip to be more efficient, to be safer, to be faster than me flying commercial. Keep in mind that most people, they have that mindset. So the price of the trip isn't really their first priority. Their first priority is convenience. So if I want convenience and all of a sudden this company has bad customer service, or it has a poor client experience, or it has just an inconvenient process, I'm probably not going to book with them again because I want convenience. I want speed. I don't want to waste time. I want to get there quick. And so I want you guys to understand that there's a huge opportunity there if you do it right. And I've interviewed so many different charter companies. I actually have a list of companies that I work with and a list of companies that I do not work with for this specific purpose. Once you've acquired the jet, you place it with the charter company, and then they go about, they do their business, their marketing, all that stuff, and there's usually a profit split involved. Now, out of all the companies that I charter with, there's a very specific company that I favor, and that's because of the terms that I'm able to get with them, both for myself and also for my investors. So guys, so we're doing this with our investors. We're acquiring these jets. We're making this happen. If that's something that you want to be a part of, definitely reach out. Happy to provide some more information. Now, the second thing that I'm super bullish on going into 2023 and now several months in is multifamily real estate. Guys, right now we have a very unique position in the economy where the economy has turned. But because the past few years have been such a strong bullish run, basically everybody was making money. So let's think about what that means. If everybody's making money, they're in the psychology of greed. Greed has now taken over their reasoning. And I say this not to be rude, I say this not to attack anybody personally, but that's just what happens. There are two forces in the market, greed and fear. When the market is down, everybody's fearful. When the market is up and it's positive and it's bullish and it's growing, everybody gets greedy. That's just a natural emotion in the market. This is what I have to say about that. In the past few years, because everybody was getting so greedy, whether intentionally or unintentionally, or they didn't even realize it, or they did realize it, doesn't really matter. Everybody was getting greedy. That's just a natural market emotion. And so everybody's getting greedy. They start doubling down on their investments and tripling down and buying this and buying that. And just, they're getting unreasonable. At the end of the day, they're just getting unreasonable. They're stopping all their due diligence. They used to be careful investors, and they used to be conservative, and they used to do this and they used to do that. All of a sudden, they're not doing that anymore because they're just making so much money. Every single deal is just making them money, and they're making more money and more money and more money. And they get this sense of false confidence, and they start lowering their standards. They're making so much money that even on the bad deals, they're making money, right? That provides a very unique opportunity for us as smart investors. We don't buy into that greed. The market just keeps going up and up and up. And that provides an opportunity for us to wait until the market comes down and people start being reasonable again. Think of the market psychology, the roller coaster that people went on. They have all these wins, they keep going up and up and up and up and up. All of a sudden, an investment doesn't work out. And now these people, they're like, what the heck? What is that? A loss? I can't believe it. I actually lost money in an investment. Oh, it's okay. I won the last 100 investments. I'm totally fine. It's nothing. And so they start disregarding these. All of a sudden they're like, okay, wow, that's strange. I lost again on an investment. So now they're probably still not worried. It's just their second loss after their last 100, 120 wins, right? They made money on all these investments, on 100 investments, and now they lost money on 2. Who cares? It's not a big deal. They lost 2% of their investments. So now they're still in this greed mindset. They're still thinking, okay, well, I'll just make money back on the next one. They're not too worried about it. This provides an opportunity for us as investors, and we just wait. We wait until this happens. Right now, we're in that waiting period. So now that the market has crashed, we've been in a recession since last July. So, it's getting close to a year. We have this market, it comes down. People start losing money on investments, but they're still so bullish, they can't believe that it's actually happening. They're in denial. And so it keeps going and going and going. You start losing money on more investments. And at a certain point, there's like a tipping point that happens. Percentage-wise, after a certain amount of people have lost a certain amount of money on investments, they start panicking. They're like, oh no, I had, let's say 10 million. Now I only have 6 million. Well, that starts getting a little bit scary. They're like, I've almost lost half of my investment. I would say it's probably about 60 to 65% where people start realizing, oh no, maybe I should pull out. And some people pull out at 65%. Well, guess what that does to the market? The market keeps going down even more aggressively because all these people are selling, they're liquidating their assets. Now it gets into a deeper recession. Now we get to the halfway mark. Now we're at a 50% decline. So if we've hit a 50% mark from where we were at the heights, now people are like, oh, now I'm scared, right? Even more people get scared. Now even more people are liquidating their assets, and the market just keeps plummeting. And so that just keeps going and going and going up to a certain point where it finally stabilizes. So the people who were more educated, the more sophisticated investors, didn't buy into all that panic. So they held their assets. They might have bought all the way at the top, but they wrote it down. There is another factor at play here. You have to maintain those assets. And so with multifamily, what happened right now is when the market came down, they're like, whatever, I'm fine. It's going to come back up, right? Well, what happened is that interest rates got increased. Those guys with adjustable rates on their loans, all of a sudden, they're having to pay a lot more than they were previously. Instead of paying 3%, they're paying like 6 or 7, right? And so now that they're paying so much in interest, they might be underwater on those properties. But those guys, they typically have a lot of money. They're the bigger guys. They're the more sophisticated investors. They have the money to float these for maybe 6 months, maybe 12 months, maybe 18 months. So now that we finally reached the point where we're almost at a year of our official recession, now we're seeing some of these guys start to let go of these assets. And the reason that they're letting go of these assets is maybe they're just not profitable anymore because of the interest rates. Maybe they're tired of holding them. Maybe they just need to liquidate because they're getting capital calls, right? People are requesting money back from the fund. So these funds are having to let go of some of these assets. And guess who's there to catch them? So we are here to find those opportunities where people are underwater on these assets. They're having to let them go, and we're getting good deals on them. So instead of buying into all that hype, we can buy in now, even if interest rates are high, but eventually we're going to refinance to lower interest rates. So guys, those are the two industries that are super, super exciting for me for 2023 and probably well into 2024 as well. So that's what I'm focused on. And if you guys found this helpful, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video.